Saturday Holiday of 2023 event by Colton Dennis. The crowd is cheering. Hello everyone and welcome to another Hatred Slam pay-per-view, where tonight we will have a battle royale for the Transcontinental Championship, said announcer number 1. Yeah, but this isn't no ordinary battle royale. It's gonna be just like the Hatred Rumble. And I can't wait for it. Because tonight we get back the Transcontinental Championship for Hatred Slam. Well, let's hope all the members of Hatred Slam could survive and get it back. But, let's head to the ring and see what happens, said announcer number 1. I'm as ready as you are, said announcer number 2. Bell dings. This match is scheduled for one fall. Is a battle royale for the Transcontinental Championship. Once a member of their brand is eliminated, another member from that show will enter the match. Until there is only one left standing. Introducing the competitors in the ring. First representing Hatred Slam, the Storm. Next representing Blood Rumble, Blade. And their opponent, representing the Wild Bull, the Boulder, said announcer number 3. Both Blade and the Storm are attacking the Boulder. And here we go with this battle royale, said announcer number 1. I could have figured both Blade and Storm would work together against Boulder, said announcer number 2. Boulder is a big man, said announcer number 1. Both Blade and the Storm continue punching the Boulder. The Boulder is groaning then walks along the ropes. Both Blade and TBE Storm hit the Boulder's back. The Boulder groans. Both Blade and the Storm bounce the Boulder off of the ropes. The Boulder bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring then double clotheslines both Blade and the Storm. Oh, a double clothesline by Boulder, said announcer number 2. The Boulder picks Blade up then headbutt him. Blade falls onto the mat then groans. Nice headbutt by Boulder. The Storm stands up then punches the Boulder. The Boulder groans then staggers backwards. The Storm runs then bounces off of the ropes. The Boulder sidesteps the Storm then throws him over the top rope. The Storm is holding onto the top rope then he dangles. Storm is still in this thing, said announcer number 1. The Storm pulls himself up onto the ledge of the ring. The Boulder looks at the Storm then runs at him. The Storm pulls down the top rope. The Boulder goes over the top rope then lands onto the floor. Boulder's eliminated, said announcer number 2. The Storm rolls inside of the ring then he smiles at the Boulder. Who's next? Asked announcer number 1. Music is playing. The Thunder runs down the ramp, slides into the ring, stands up then continuously punches both Blade and the Storm. What a choice for Wild Bull. Thunder is an incredible competitor, said announcer number 2. Yes he is. And he keeps amazing everyone with what he's able to do, said announcer number 1. The Thunder bounces the Storm off of the ropes then dropkicks him. The Storm groans then holds his face. What an amazing dropkick that was by Thunder, said announcer number 2. Blade kicks the Thunder's stomach. The Thunder groans. Blade hits the Thunder's back. The Thunder groans then walks towards the corner. Blade continuously punching the Thunder. The Thunder groaning. Blade's in control, said announcer number 1. Blade whips the Thunder. The Thunder goes into the opposite corner then he groans. Blade runs at the Thunder. The Thunder does a back elbow onto Blade. Blade groans then walks away. The Thunder jumps onto the second rope. Blade turns around. The Thunder flips off the second rope then does a neckbreaker onto Blade. Blade groans then holds his head. What a move that was by Thunder, said announcer number 2. The Thunder stands up then waves at Blade. Blade slowly stands up then turns around. The Thunder kicks Blade's stomach, sets him up for a suplex, lifts then does a vertical suplex power slam onto him. Blade groans. What a suplex by Thunder, said announcer number 1. The Thunder stands up. The Storm punches the Thunder. The Thunder groans then walks towards the ropes. The Storm bounces the Thunder off of the ropes. The Thunder reverses it then goes to punch the Storm. The Storm holds onto the ropes on the opposite side of the ring. The Thunder goes to punch the Storm. The Storm ducks. The Thunder turns around next to the ropes. The Storm clotheslines himself and the Thunder over the top rope. Both the Storm and the Thunder land onto the floor. Both Storm and Thunder are eliminated, said announcer number 2. Now 2 competitors will come out, said announcer number 1. Music is playing. Guts runs down the ramp, climbs the ledge of the ring, jumps up then does a springboard crossbody onto Blade. Nice springboard crossbody by Guts, said announcer number 2. Music is playing. Raptor appears running down the ramp, slides into the ring then stands up. Guts goes to punch Raptor. Raptor ducks. Guts bounces off of the ropes. Raptor lifts Guts then does a spinebuster onto him. Raptor's spinebuster connects, said announcer number 1. Blade slowly stands up next to the ropes. Raptor approaches Blade then kicks his stomach. Blade groans. Raptor bounces Blade off of the ropes then he bends over. Blade kicks Raptor's chest. Raptor groans then stands up. Blade bounces off of the ropes again. Raptor lifts Blade then does a spinebuster onto him. Retractable claw, connects again, said announcer number 2. Raptor is definitely in control, said announcer number 1. Raptor stands up, picks Blade up then tries throwing him over the top rope. Blade is leaning onto the top rope. Raptor is hitting Blade's back then tries lifting him over the top rope more. Blade continues holding onto the ropes. Raptor might eliminate Blade right here, said announcer number 2. Blade punches Raptor's stomach. Raptor groans then continuously hits Blade's back. Blade continuously groaning. Raptor lifts Blade over the top rope more. Guts pulls himself up with the ropes on the opposite side of the ring, sees Raptor lifting Blade over the top rope then slowly approaches. Raptor better watch his back, said announcer number 1. Raptor continues lifting Blade. Blade grabs bottom rope. Guts dropkicks Raptor's back. Raptor goes over the top rope. Both Blade and Raptor land onto the floor. There goes 2 competitors again, said announcer number 2. Music is playing. Predator appears running down the ramp, sliding into the ring then standing up. Guts goes to punch Predator. Predator ducks, runs then bounces off of the ropes. Guts turns around. Predator does a corkscrew elbow onto Guts. Nice corkscrew elbow by Predator, said announcer number 1. Music is playing. The Savage runs down the ramp, slides into the ring then stands up. Predator goes to punch the Savage. The Savage blocks then continuously punches Predator. Predator is staggering backwards into the ropes. The Savage bounces Predator off of the ropes then does a back elbow onto him. Predator groans. The Savage is waving at Predator. Predator stands up. The Savage wraps his arms around Predator's waist then does a belly-to-belly throw. Predator lands onto the mat across the ring then he groans. Nice belly-to-belly throw by the Savage, said announcer number 2. The Savage stands up. Guts hits the Savage from his right side. The Savage falls onto his knees. Guts continuously punches the Savage. The Savage continuously groaning. Guts picks the Savage up then bounces him off of the ropes. The Savage reverses it then he bends over. Guts kicks the Savage's chest. The Savage groans then stands up. Predator grabs the Savage from behind, jumps up then does a backstabber onto him. The Savage groans. What a backstabber by Predator, said announcer number 1. Guts bounces off of the ropes. Predator lifts Guts. Guts does a head scissors onto Predator. Predator flips onto the mat, he groans then stands up. Guts kicks Predator's stomach then sets him up for a powerbomb. Guts is looking for his powerbomb, said announcer number 2. Predator is squirming then lifts Guts. Guts goes over the top rope then holds onto it. Guts is still in this thing, said announcer number 1. Guts pulls himself onto the ledge of the ring. Predator turns around then kicks Guts. Guts is groaning. Predator picks Guts up. Guts grabs Predator's head then hangs him off the top rope. Predator gasps then turns around. The Savage lifts Predator onto his right shoulder then does an over-the-shoulder facebuster onto him. Predator groans. What a move by Savage, said announcer number 2. I don't know how he got back up after that backstabber, said announcer number 1. The Savage stands up. Guts is standing on the ledge of the ring, jumps up then goes for a springboard crossbody onto the Savage. The Savage catches Guts in his arms, lifts him into his right shoulder then does an over-the-shoulder facebuster onto him. Guts groans. Another great move by Savage, said announcer number 2. The Savage stands up then approaches Predator. Predator kicks the Savage's stomach. The Savage groans. Predator lifts the Savage onto his right shoulder then turns towards the ropes. The Savage grabs the top rope, he squirms then lands onto his feet behind Predator. Predator turns around. The Savage goes to clothesline Predator. Predator ducks. The Savage turns around next to the ropes. Predator runs at the Savage. The Savage lifts Predator over the top rope. Predator lands onto the floor. There goes Predator, said announcer number 1. Who's coming out next? Asked announcer number 2. Music is playing. Jekyll appears running down the ramp, slides into the ring then stands up. The Savage goes to punch Jekyll. Jekyll ducks. The Savage turns around. Jekyll kicks the Savage's stomach, sets him up for a powerbomb, lifts then does a jackknife powerbomb onto him. Jekyll knife, connects, said announcer number 1. Jekyll turns around. Guts is standing up next to the ropes. Jekyll approaches Guts. Guts kicks Jekyll's stomach. Jekyll groans. Guts grabs Jekyll's head then bounces it off of the top turnbuckle. Jekyll groans. Guts chops Jekyll's chest. Jekyll groans. Guts whips Jekyll into the opposite corner. Jekyll groans. Guts runs at Jekyll. Jekyll lifts Guts over the top rope. Guts lands onto the ledge of the ring. Jekyll looks at Guts. Guts punches Jekyll. Jekyll groans then staggers backwards. Guts jumps up then goes for a springboard crossbody onto Jekyll. Jekyll ducks. Guts lands into his feet, rolls onto the mat, stands up then turns around. Jekyll kicks Guts' stomach, sets him up for a powerbomb, lifts then does a jackknife powerbomb into him. Guts groans. Jekyll is in control, said announcer number 2. Jekyll looks at the Savage then picks Guts up. The Savage is standing next to the ropes. Jekyll is standing on the opposite side of the ring, runs then throws Guts into the Savage. Both Guts and the Savage go over the top rope then land into the floor. There goes both Guts and Savage, said announcer number 2. I just wonder, who's next? Asked announcer number 1. Music is playing. The Typhoon appears. It's one half of the LMDW Tag Team Champions, said announcer number 2. The Typhoon slides into the ring then stands up. Jekyll is staring at the Typhoon. Music is playing. Blueprint appears running down the ramp then stops next to the ring. Nah, I don't think so, said Blueprint walking around the ring. What is Blueprint thinking? Asked announcer number 1. He has the champion's advantage if he stays outside of the ring, said announcer number 2. Jekyll shrugs his shoulder then starts punching the Typhoon. The Typhoon is groaning then shoves Jekyll. Jekyll rolls backwards onto the mat then stands up. The Typhoon runs at Jekyll. Jekyll dropkicks the Typhoon's left leg. The Typhoon's head goes into the top turnbuckle then he groans. Jekyll is really fighting with everything he's got, said announcer number 1. Jekyll runs then does a corner clothesline onto the Typhoon. The Typhoon groans. Jekyll steps backwards then does a second corner clothesline onto the Typhoon. The Typhoon groans again. Jekyll runs then bounces off of the rope. The Typhoon walks out of the corner. Jekyll dropkicks the Typhoon's left leg again. The Typhoon falls onto the mat then he groans. Jekyll is doing great against Typhoon, said announcer number 2. Jekyll stands up, picks the Typhoon up then sets him up for a powerbomb. No way, Jekyll. You can't lift Typhoon, said announcer number 1. Jekyll tries lifting the Typhoon. The Typhoon is squirming then lifts Jekyll over the top rope. Jekyll lands onto the floor then he groans. There goes Jekyll, said announcer number 2. Who's next for Blood Rumble? Asked announcer number 1. Music is playing. Tremor appears running down the ramp, sliding into the ring, standing up then starts punching the Typhoon. The Typhoon continuously groaning then staggers backwards into the ropes. Tremor runs then bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring. The Typhoon runs behind Tremor the clotheslines him over the top rope. Tremor lands onto the floor. And that quickly. Tremor has been eliminated, said announcer number 2. Well, he did his best, said announcer number 1. Music is playing. The bulldozer appears. Oh my god. Here we go, said announcer number 2. The bulldozer is walking down the ramp, goes up the steel stairs then goes over the top rope. Both the bulldozer and the Typhoon are staring at each other then start punching one another. Here comes a giant fist fight, said announcer number 1. Both the bulldozer and the Typhoon continue punching each other. The bulldozer runs, bounces off of the ropes then tires clotheslining the Typhoon. The Typhoon staggers, looks at the bulldozer, he runs, bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring then tries clotheslining the bulldozer. The bulldozer staggers then looks at the Typhoon. Two behemoths going at each other, said announcer number 2. And they can't knock the other down, said announcer number 1. Both the bulldozer and the Typhoon run, bounce off of the ropes on opposite sides of the ring then double clothesline each other. Oh man, the ring just shook, said announcer number 2. That's a lot of weight coming down onto the mat, said announcer number 1. Blueprint slides into the ring, stands up, smiles then holds out his arms. The crowd is booing. Shut up, said Blueprint turning around then seeing the bulldozer slowly standing up. Blueprint dropkicks the bulldozer's back. The bulldozer falls into the corner. What a dropkick by Blueprint, said announcer number 2. Blueprint looks at the Typhoon. The Typhoon stands up next to the ropes. Blueprint runs at the Typhoon then tries clotheslining him over the top rope. The Typhoon is swaying on the top rope. Blueprint tries clotheslining the Typhoon over the top rope again. The Typhoon sways onto the top rope again. Blueprint runs then bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring. The Typhoon lifts Blueprint over the top rope. Blueprint lands onto the floor. Oh my god, Blueprint has been eliminated. We're gonna have a new champion, said announcer number 1. Music is playing. The surgeon runs down the ramp, slides into the ring, stands up then continuously punches the Typhoon. The Typhoon continuously groaning then goes to punch the surgeon. The surgeon ducks, runs then bounces off of the ropes. The Typhoon turns around. The surgeon shoulder blocks the Typhoon's right left. The Typhoon falls onto the mat then he groans. What a shoulder block by surgeon, said announcer number 2. The surgeon stands up, waves his arms, then turns around. The bulldozer clotheslines the surgeon. The surgeon groans. The bulldozer picks the surgeon up, then headbutts him. The surgeon falls onto the mat. The typhoon slowly stands up. The bulldozer lifts the typhoon, then slams him onto the mat. The typhoon groans. Did you see the strength of bulldozer? Asked announcer number 1. The surgeon pulls himself up with the ropes. The bulldozer runs at the surgeon. The surgeon pulls down the top rope. The bulldozer goes over the top rope, then lands onto the floor. Bulldozer has been eliminated, said announcer number 2. Smart of surgeon for doing that, said announcer number 1. Music is playing. Boom Boom appears running down the ramp, sliding into the ring, standing up, then continuously clotheslines the surgeon. Here we go, said announcer number 2. Boom Boom lifts, then slams the surgeon onto the mat. The surgeon groans. The typhoon slowly stands up. Boom Boom bounces off of the ropes, then does a knee lift onto the typhoon. The typhoon groans. Boom Boom has taken over this match, said announcer number 2. The surgeon stands up in the corner. Boom Boom runs at the surgeon, then does a corner shoulder block onto him. The surgeon groans. Boom Boom pulls the surgeon out of the corner, lifts him into his left shoulder, then does a power slam onto him. The surgeon groans. Boom Boom stands up. The typhoon goes to clothesline Boom Boom. Boom Boom ducks, runs, then bounces off of the ropes. The typhoon turns around. Boom Boom does a bicycle kick onto the typhoon. The typhoon groans, then falls onto the mat. What a bicycle kick by Boom Boom, said announcer number 1. Boom Boom looks at the surgeon pulling himself up with the ropes, then goes for a bicycle kick onto him. The surgeon ducks. Boom Boom goes over the top rope, then lands onto the ledge of the ring. Boom Boom is still in this, said announcer number 2. Boom Boom stands up onto the ledge of the ring. The surgeon runs at Boom Boom, then hits him with a forearm. Boom Boom falls off the ledge of the ring, then lands onto the floor. Boom Boom has been eliminated, said announcer number 1. The surgeon is standing next to the ropes, then turns around. The typhoon clotheslines the surgeon over the top rope. The surgeon lands onto the floor. There goes surgeon now, said announcer number 2. Now 2 more will come out, said announcer number 1. Music is playing. The clam runs down the ramp, slides into the ring, stands up, then starts punching the typhoon. The typhoon is groaning. Music is playing. The hallowed runs down the ramp, slides into the ring, stands up, then punches the typhoon too. The typhoon is groaning, then staggers backwards. Both clam and hallowed are working together, said announcer number 2. Both the clam and the hallowed run, then bounce off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring. The typhoon double clotheslines both the clam and the hallowed. Oh, typhoon is still in this thing, said announcer number 1. The typhoon turns around. The clam stands up. The typhoon lifts the clam, then slams him onto the mat. The clam groans. The hallowed stands up, then goes to superkick the typhoon. The typhoon catches the hallowed's right leg, spins him around, then clotheslines him. The hallowed groans. Nice clothesline by typhoon, said announcer number 2. The typhoon picks the clam up, bends him backwards, then sets up for a cutter. Here comes typhoon's cutter, said announcer number 1. The hallowed quickly stands up, then superkicks the typhoon's right side of his face. The typhoon groans, lets go of the clam, then walks towards the ropes. What a superkick by hallowed, said announcer number 2. The typhoon is leaning against the ropes. The hallowed helps the clam stand up, then points at typhoon. Both the clam and the hallowed grab both of the typhoon's legs, then they lift him over the top rope. The typhoon lands onto the floor. Typhoon has been eliminated, said announcer number 1. Music is playing. The fiend runs down the ramp, slides into the ring, stands up, then punches both the clam and the hallowed. The fiend is an inverted atomic drop onto the clam. The clam groans. The fiend punches the hallowed. The hallowed walks away. The fiend chops the clam's chest. The clam falls onto the mat. The fiend turns around. The hallowed superkicks the fiend. The fiend falls onto the mat. Oh man, fiend didn't see that coming, said announcer number 2. The hallowed looks at the fiend laying in the middle of the ring, goes through the middle rope, then climbs up the turnbuckle. Hallowed needs to be careful here, said announcer number 1. The hallowed gets to the top turnbuckle, looks down at the fiend, jumps off of it, then goes for body splash onto him. The fiend moves. The hallowed lands face first onto the mat, then he groans. Oh, hallowed missed, said announcer number 2. The fiend stands up, grabs the hallowed from behind, runs towards the ropes, then throws him over the top of them. The hallowed lands onto the floor. Hallowed has been eliminated, said announcer number 1. The fiend turns around. The clam runs at the fiend. The fiend lifts the clam over the top rope. The clam lands onto the hallowed. And there goes clam, said announcer number 2. Music is playing. Carnage appears running down the ramp, slides into the ring, then stands up. Both Carnage and the Fiend start punching each other. Carnage goes to punch the Fiend. The Fiend ducks. Both Carnage and the Fiend run, bounce off of the ropes on the opposite sides of the ropes, then double clothesline each other. Both Carnage and Fiend just clotheslined each other, said announcer number 1. Music is playing. Oh no, now's not a good time to be down, said announcer number 1. The bodyguard appears walking down the ramp. Get up you two, said announcer number 2. The bodyguard gets to the ring, grabs the top rope, pulls himself up onto the ledge of the ring, then goes over the top rope. I don't know how they're gonna eliminate bodyguard, said announcer number 1. Both Carnage and the Fiend stand up. The bodyguard grabs both Carnage and the Fiend by their throats. Say goodbye to both Carnage and Fiend, said announcer number 2. Both Carnage and the Fiend kick the bodyguard in his testicles. The bodyguard groans, lets go of both Carnage and the Fiend, then leans against the ropes. Both Carnage and the Fiend look at each other, run, bounce off of the rope on the opposite side of the ring, then double clothesline the bodyguard over the top rope. The bodyguard lands onto the floor. Bodyguard has been eliminated, said announcer number 1. They were able to do it, said announcer number 2. Music is playing. The Torrent appears running down the ramp, slides into the ring, stands up, then punches both Carnage and the Fiend. Both Carnage and the Fiend are groaning. The Torrent kicks Carnage's stomach. Carnage groans, then bends over. The Fiend goes to grab the Torrent. The Torrent is a back elbow onto the Fiend. The Fiend groans, then walks away. The Torrent runs, then bounces off of the ropes. Carnage stands up, grabs the Torrent's head, then throws him over the top rope. The Torrent lands onto the floor. Torrent has been eliminated, said announcer number 1. Music is playing. The Crow runs down the ramp, slides into the ring, then stands up next to the ropes. Carnage runs at the Crow. The Crow lifts Carnage over the top rope. Carnage lands onto the floor. There goes Carnage, said announcer number 2. Music is playing. Sergeant appears running down the ramp, sliding into the ring, then standing up next to the ropes. The Crow dropkicks Sergeant. Sergeant goes over the top rope, then lands onto the floor. And that quickly, Sergeant is eliminated, said announcer number 1. Music is playing. The Barbarian appears running down the ramp, sliding into the ring, standing up, then goes to punch the Crow. The Crow ducks. The Barbarian turns around. The Crow kicks the Barbarian in his testicles. The Barbarian groans, then falls onto the mat. What a disgusting way to win, said announcer number 2. We didn't say that when it happened to Bodyguard, said announcer number 1. True, said announcer number 2. The Crow is smiling, then grabs the Barbarian's head. The Fiend stands up, grabs the Crow from behind, runs towards the ropes, then throws him over the top of them. The Crow lands onto the floor. That's what you get, said the Fiend. Crow is gone. And now Wild Bull doesn't have any more competitors, said announcer number 1. The Fiend turns around. The Barbarian quickly stands up, runs at the Fiend, then clotheslines him over the top rope. The Fiend lands onto the ledge of the ring. Oh, Fiend is still in this, said announcer number 2. The Fiend pulls himself up onto the ledge of the ring. The Barbarian runs at the Fiend. The Fiend pulls down the top rope. The Barbarian goes over the top rope, then lands onto the ledge of the ring. Both Barbarian and Fiend need to be careful, said announcer number 1. Both the Barbarian and the Fiend stand up onto the ledge of the ring, then continuously punch each other. Here we go. Only one could win, said announcer number 2. The Fiend kicks the Barbarian's stomach. The Barbarian groans. The Fiend sets the Barbarian up for a suplex. No, not that, Fiend, said announcer number 1. The Fiend tires lifting the Barbarian. The Barbarian blocks the suplex, then tries lifting the Fiend. The Fiend blocks the suplex. Both the Barbarian and the Fiend continuously punch each other's sides and groaning. The Fiend breaks the suplex, then pushes the Barbarian. The Barbarian staggers backwards. The Fiend approaches the Barbarian. The Barbarian does a back elbow onto the Fiend. The Fiend groans, then walks away. What a back elbow, said announcer number 2. The Barbarian looks at the Fiend, then runs at him. The Fiend dropkicks the Barbarian's right leg. The Barbarian falls off the ledge of the ring, then lands onto the floor. Ring the bell, said referee number 1. Bell dings. Here's your winner and the new Transcontinental Champion, the Fiend, said announcer number 3. Fiend has brought the Transcontinental Championship back to Hatred Slam, said announcer number 1. That's great, it's amazing. Who would have thought that? I really didn't think they were gonna get it back. Oh man, congratulations to Fiend for getting it back, said announcer number 2. Well folks, we want to thank you for watching. Be safe out there and good night, said announcer number 1. Bye bye. A new champion, guys, said announcer number 2 pointing at The Fiend. The Fiend raises the title. The crowd is cheering. The end.